Yo, what's going on guys? This is the build that I'll be using in this video. And to start off, this is the first time I've made a Campto video actually. I thought it'd be pretty interesting as there's not really been a lot of content lately, so it's been pretty stale, so I'm just trying a bunch of different dinos and just making videos on them. Now if you've ever played the Campto, you know this thing does like absolutely zero damage. And it's not very tanky either, so yeah, it takes a lot amount of bites to kill someone, and this thing really does need a TLC. It has a very small ability pool, very lacking in that aspect, so that's probably why you don't really see a lot of Camptos either. Now you can see I'm in a 3v1 here against two conks and a meg, so I'm just pulling these guys away, getting them to waste their stamina, and that way I can just catch one of them resting. Just like right here, this conk rests. This is the plan, catch them while they're resting, as it's going to be my best chance to kill them. I accidentally did use the hop, I just misclicked, so yeah, that was unfortunate and I missed out on a couple of free bites. But once again, I just get these guys to chase me and get them to use their stamina. Also, the Campto's speed is 1125. I don't know who thought it was a good idea for this thing to be slower than Alio, but yeah. Anyway, once again, I'm just baiting this guy. Just want them to keep chasing me. That way I can try and catch one of them fully resting and then get the jump on them. And that's what exactly happens here. You can see the Meg chases me, the conk fully rests, and at this point I just get a bunch of free hits on him while he's fully resting. And you can see how weak this thing truly is, because I just hit this guy like 10 times while he was fully resting and I still didn't kill him. Now luckily this guy, just for no reason at all, popped his call, and his friend ended up paying the price for it. They definitely could have killed me. All they had to do was land a singular bite. But yeah, moving on, I wanted to see what this thing could do. Obviously, like, okay, it's weak, it's just weak. that's literally it, and it just doesn't have any abilities. But it's actually really easy to tail ride people with this thing. It's pretty fast, great survivability. So yeah, I wanted to see if I can kill a Rex. Now, obviously it would be ideal if I was to bait out his tail hits, but the problem is, you know, a lot of Apexes just go to water high enough to where they're just standing and can walk about, while I would have to swim, and that would just get me killed. So yeah, now you can see those tail hits are actually doing a pretty good amount of damage. So this was just more of a test. I just wanted to see the limits of this thing. I wanted to see how much punishment I could take from a Rex's tail attack, and this was definitely not the way to do it. So it's a lesson learned, and next time if I fight a Rex, I would just bait out his tail hits. But you can see he's already at the pond, and at that point I just can't kill him. So yeah. Now here, the same Rex is fighting a Pycno, and I'm just waiting for this Pycno to get low from the Rex, make a mistake and get a couple of hits off, and that way the Pycno gets low and I can fight the Pycno and secure the kill, as honestly it would be pretty hard to kill a Pycno if he's full health, and it just wouldn't really go well, especially if it's a good experienced Pycno player. Should never be dying to a Campto. But yeah, so waited for the right opportunity and took it, and you can see this guy's just running away at this point, and he just takes another bite from the Rex. If I was him, I would have just took the fight. I don't know why he just kept running. Obviously create distance from the Rex, but I'm a Campto, like come on, you could definitely kill the Campto easily. And you can see he charges away. Now I did use my hop, so I just wasn't able to catch up in that time, but there's no way this guy's getting away from me. Also, it's very nice that they recently did nerf the speed of the Pycno to now from 1100 to 1075, so that just made it a lot better too. And I'm pretty sure this guy also doesn't have braced legs, and he also doesn't have a juke, so yeah, it makes it a lot harder to tail ride this guy without getting punished. Not only that, it seems like he only has really one attack, and that's the horn swipe. He didn't really use anything else, pretty interesting. But you can see what he does here is just put himself up on the rock, to that way he can just knock me off of the cliff and kill me via fall damage. But you're gonna see I just managed to barely get out of the way of his hits and just keep tail riding and tail riding. Now I'm not teaming up with this Rex, you just seen me trying to kill the Rex, but you have to be realistic with the Campto. You're not gonna really be able to kill much, as it's just that weak and it has zero ability, and you know, all the play potential you have just depends on your skill and finesse rather than playing off of abilities. So yeah, that's why you see me a lot of the time I'll just be third party and people are trying to make people do mistakes. That way I can just, you know, get advantages. Like right here you can see I catch another Pycno resting, and what I do here is I just get this guy to, you know, drop his trophy, because I did need that trophy, I did want it, and you know, I take the trophy, and it also just gives him leverage because now he's going to chase me because I just stole his trophy. Maybe he needed that trophy, and he just takes fall damage. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to keep going to that rock and I'm just going to keep getting this guy to take fall damage, right? That's like my best opportunity, because there's no way I'm killing these two guys, a Dasp and a Pycno, no chance. And there's a few other things, so I just keep baiting them onto this rock. That's really all I've been doing, and he's stupid enough to fall for it. And you can see he just puts himself one hit, so now that he's one hit I can take the fight and get the kill on this guy. Even with the Dasp right on me, it doesn't matter, I kill the guy and take his trophy instead. And yeah, I just delivered it to the home cave. Now moving on, once again this is just like people fighting, and I come in third party and kill whoever's low, because there's no point of me. So say example I was 1v1 a Meg, right? Even then he could just get away into the water. Like I'm not going to be able to finish a Meg off by the time he finds a pool of water. I just don't do enough damage. But the Metri I can, because the only thing he's able to do is heal himself. If he popped that heal call, he would literally out heal the DPS that I can do, so that would be bad. But yeah, moving on, I changed to go play some Gondwa instead, see my luck. And you may be asking yourself, why am I fighting a baby? Well, this thing can't kill anything. First of all, I'm a Campto. Second of all, I just thought, you know, I thought this guy was a little bit bigger, to be honest, and then once I got close I was like, oh, this guy's really not that big. And third of all, honestly, what I like about fighting small stuff like this is it helps with your tracking. So because they have such a great turn radius, I thought to myself, well, I may as well just take this opportunity to work on my tracking, because this guy's got a great turn radius. It forces me to move a lot and just stay on the guy, which is, I don't know, I just thought it was pretty good practice. And then you can see this baby Styrak comes out, and now this Alio comes out to help the Akilo. So yeah, now this is a very fair fight. Honestly, this is a winnable fight for the Alio. The Alio should be able to win this easy. Now I'm already half HP. I'm trying to finish off this Akilo because he is going to be very annoying, and also it's just a leverage. That way the Alio can't get away. He is forced to defend his baby, and it's just really nice. That way I can just like consistently just keep the Alio about, get him to waste more stamina and stuff, whereas my stamina's chilling, because every time I get hit I get that 150% increased stamina recovery, which is really good from second wind. Also, if you guys have ever seen the call that you have as a Campto, it's so useless. Like, first of all, okay, so this is what it does. You gain 20% increased damage until you get into combat. So the first hit you get will give you 20% increased damage, but after that it's useless. Not only that, it's got a 7-minute cooldown and it takes a lot of stamina off of you, which is crazy. Definitely need to change that. There needs to be a few buffs to the Campto. Like, I feel like that's just an easy change. Like, give it a call, like, please, anything. Like, the thing literally just, like, yeah, I don't know. It's the most useless call in the game. Also, I think this guy's controller just kept turning off. He just stopped running multiple times. Now, also, I do randomly take damage from trample damage, which honestly I don't really like the change. I feel like trample damage was fine the way it was before, and you could really, especially Raptors, I feel like Raptors had the worst when it came to trample damage, and I just feel like you're nerfing very small things by making trample damage better or reworked. Now, yeah, but I haven't really took much trample damage. I'm not sure if it's like before, if you got trampled you took a lot of damage, and now I don't really take a lot of damage, but it's just consistent and it's just very annoying, and it's just a lot more common than it used to be. So yeah, but either way, I just kept chasing this Alio, running him out of stamina. That was my plan pretty much. And yeah, well, this guy could have easily killed me. All he had to do was put himself up against a rock and use a precise turn, or at least just use your precise turn. Your precise turn is really good, and you don't even need to put yourself up against a rock. But this guy did none of that actually. And yeah, and you can see here the little Styrak came in to help me. It's just a random Styrak. Honestly pretty useful because he was like a distraction, and he did get in the way, but I just let him get his damage off. But once I seen he was low, took the kill.